Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the D Hoop University podcast. This is your host, Daryl Harris, also known as D Hoopster. This was a surprise one, but a good one. To make another wrestling analogy, this was sort of a money in the bank cash in that was long overdue because me and my boy we do this and we've been doing this and it was only a matter of time. So we got to do it on the pod. And it definitely won't be the last time. So, guys will enjoy this one. This is a real check in, laid back Sunday afternoon vibe where we jump around the league as we tend to do on this podcast. Without further ado, let's talk some hoops. For the first time, at long last, we got my brother O Mees on the pod.
Yo, 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 it's been way, way overdue, my brother. What's up?
What's happening, man? I'll let you talk to him for a second. This is my real life brother right here since kindergarten. So you can't say put much more on it than that.
Nah, man, that's really it right there. Literally since kindergarten, before I even knew what a friend was, my, I had my best friend right here. One of my bros, man. Much love. Good to see you doing your thing.
Yeah, man. Likewise, man. Both of us out here in this media industry and reporting and being a journalist and on our way. So this is only right, man. And adding to the aesthetic, adding to the vibe. He's on his patio, at the patio in the neighborhood in Carson, one of the most distinguished cities in the world, thanks to the story post that Omar just educated me on, and I meant to reshare. But so
It ain't too late.
you might hear some natural sounds, some ambiance, because this is where
Yeah,
we would normally even have this type of conversation.
literally.
But
This is where not to cut you off, D, but I was just want to throw something in. Like this is where we were doing this before we even put a camera and a mic in front of our face, bro.
yeah,
Chilling
this is
on the
authentic.
patio. Yeah, that's how real it is. Exactly.
I will start with the finals, man. You know, if you got much to say about it, because the potential closeout game is tomorrow as of this recording, and it's got a little more runway, but as of right now, it's all quiet on the home front. Kind of when we're talking about the finals.
I mean, the finals, like you said, it's here, but who really cares? Outside of maybe the couple 100,000 people that live in Denver, and I don't even think the people in Miami care like that. I'm just keeping it real with you. I mean, of course they want to win, but they're not upset if they lose. I just think overall this finals has been lackluster. It's been boring. It's been dull. It's been meh. Um, Yeah, it's a lack it lacks star power. That's really what it is. And I understand that you want to keep the game authentic. You want the two best teams to be, in the finals to
Earn it.
determine who. Yeah, you want the two best teams to be in it, two best teams to earn it. You want the two best teams to represent their respective conference. But I see why WWE and I see why other sports agencies fix games and they do tweak stuff because it's not the best product. It's simply not. Let's just keep it real. This is anticlimactic. It's
Shout
not
out to WWE.
calculated. You know, I have to throw that in there for you. But like I said, it's anticlimactic. It's lacking star power. And if you look at like how these things are being covered, there's days where I'm watching First Take. It's days where I'm watching Undisputed, and the NBA Finals isn't even the lead story. They're talking about John Morant's potential suspension. They're talking about what LeBron and the Lakers might do. They're talking about Chris Paul, James Harden, might be on the move.
Right.
Once we're in the middle of
It's
the
it's
finals,
it's it's in the B block.
it's in the B block. It's the second story. No, literally, it's the second story, or it might be the third story. But nonetheless, it's not the lead story. So that goes to show me that people aren't really invested. People aren't really interested, and I really can't wait to see the ratings and compare them to some of the ratings we had in recent past.
Well, this kind of puts into perspective the impact of not having the major established markets and not trying to crap on it, but it just came to me as you were saying because you're in LA, you know, hometown and market 1A or 1B, and honestly. I'm sure it's quiet. It's not doing much. I'm in Las Vegas, where the Stanley Cup is doing numbers on everything, merch, community, the ratings, like taking over. The team we're playing is also from South Florida and Miami. I don't think that, it's that the Heat and the finals are the top interest in Miami either.
I don't think so either. I think the Heat biggest thing was just making it here. That was impressive enough. That was, I hate to say it, but that was the win. Just seeing Jimmy's story, you beat the 1 seed,
Right.
beat the Knicks. Okay, that's a little bit of a rivalry. And then now you're playing with house money. You knock off the Celtics. I mean, you kind of won, right? Um,
Yeah. I
yeah, I
want
don't
to
think
give
they really had a goal of going in and winning the championship. Unlike the Nuggets, whose goal was to win a championship, and it looks like they're on the way to do it.
I want to give credit to whoever said this, and I can't remember it right now, but because I take it a lot. But somebody said that this run is solidifies Jimmy as the guy that people ride for after his career is over, even though he didn't win a ring. And it's like I could see that kind of playing out for Jimmy. And all this is kind of like big picture takeaways from it. But
Right.
shout out to whoever said that. As far as what's on the court, I need to know because for a long standing, you weren't the biggest believer in Nikola Jokic. And I think it's pretty unanimous with that, what it is with that brother now.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't a big believer in Yoke. I wasn't. I was in big guy. I'm thinking Embiid the best big, and Embiid is a prototypical big I want to build my team around. But after I seen Jokic just run basically from the start of the playoffs through now, I guess you would say, but really specifically that Lakers series. When I'm watching the Lakers series and I'm seeing him dominate the game, really from offensive, making plays for others. It's magical, to be honest with you. It's nobody like
He
him
has the answers.
to everything, to everything. You want to force him out to shoot, he could kill you in pick and pop. And even he's such a great passer that he doesn't have to shoot every time. He has dynamic wings that can cut to the basket. He has a dynamic guard in Jamal Murray who can create plays off the dribble. And just having in their 2-man game, it sounds crazy, but it's Shaq and Kobe esque. It's me and you. Jamal Murray, I can make any shot on the floor. Yoke can make any shot on the floor, get to any place he wants to on the floor. It's Shaq and Kobe. Yes, I don't
Dominate.
want to say
Yeah.
it's dominate. I
He
don't
don't
want to
gotta
say that
dunk
it's
it, but he gonna put this hook right where it's right,
right
this
where it needs to
floater,
be.
this bounce pass, this is dominant, it's dominant.
I'm gonna step out top of the key, hit a 3 or 2. Now you playing me tough. Now I can go by you. Or what I love to see. Once I seen this, I think it was game 2. He takes the ball off the rim, dribbling it with his left hand, all up the court with the center right in him, on cruise control. Finish it with the opposite hand. I'm like, dude, who's stopping that?
What's so crazy that you said that is because I want to say there's a video on my phone of me, and it probably wasn't the same possession when we're talking about Jokic, but of him catching the ball, immediately turning downhill, coast to coast, whatever. I don't even remember what he did. He either laid it up, made a dime, and it's just like, all right, bro, stop it. Y'all seeing this? Like the fluidity, the awareness, the comfort, the skill level is pretty ridiculous. Yeah,
It
no,
really
man.
is.
They've got a good thing established there now. I think that they earned the right of the crown going there for a year, more or
Oh,
less, more or
only
less.
a year. You don't see a dynasty brewing. Just this is a 1 year one-off thing, like Dirk Nowitzki.
So I think some of the disappointment in the outcome or the effect on the ratings or narrative of this finals is that they're not facing a team that we feel like is somebody who's their best at their best. So like I want to see him and Giannis if he makes it back again. And like a healthy Giannis, a right team, a right Bucks team that makes it there, or him catch the right Embiid team that makes it there. And I prefer Giannis because then it would be 1 versus 1, and it's like a rubber match that never even really happened. It's like, all right, who's getting number 2 and like getting past the other one? Like, at least for now, like jockeying, like that could be something.
No, that can, and not to cut you off, but I see
Yeah,
your WWE mind brewing. You're trying to build the
yeah.
storyline.
No, we gotta
What
make
can we
it.
sell? We got to make it interesting. You know what I mean? But I would love to see him versus Giannis. And also, they're battling for who's the best foreign player, who's the best player in the game right now. What's the prototypical big you want to have? Would you want to have a yoke type of big who kind of slower up at the foot, not let's face it, a defensive liability at times, but offensively can do everything?
Yeah,
Or would you rather have Giannis, who's a defensive stalwart? He can do whatever defensively and offensively. He's
yeah.
going to be limited come playoff time when it gets to the half court when you got to
To an
shoot a jump
extent,
shot.
but still got the Shaq impact of like, well, this one way forces like, what you gonna do
I'm,
about it?
he does have Shaq impact, but what I would say,
Yeah,
Giannis's game can be slowed down. I've seen it; it can be
yeah.
stopped.
The free throws are inexcusable.
The
The,
free
the free,
throws, the wall, um, that I mean, that's just it right
but
there.
I want to
And
say, I
he
can't
doesn't
throw
play
too much.
make like Jokic either. Jokic can do it all. I'm saying you can do it
Yeah,
all offensively, man. Once I see him dominate the Lakers by passing, shooting, scoring, rebounding, who's better than him? Nobody.
yeah. No, and he's been put out a couple times now to where you can feel, you can find a way. And Jokic has only been put out when his team was injured or when they were on their way there or lost to the champions. And you look at that and it's like, yeah, nah, he hasn't been really when the playing feels even when he has guys and but they got is fair, bro. They built that and they're not going anywhere. They're built to last, honestly. And that's the big takeaway. And that's but at the end of the day, too, bro, I meant to say this way sooner. I think Miami gets another one. They got
Gets
one
another
more in
one.
them. They get another win. I think they got one more win in this series, bro.
I'm praying for it. I'm really praying for at least one more Miami win. And I'm selfish. I love basketball. I don't want the season to end
That too.
on,
Exactly.
on
That
Monday.
plays in.
Yeah,
And
June. I
but I
want the
think
season
we
to
this
close.
gets a game 6 at least, bro. I think. I think.
And see me, if I'm being honest, I disagree. It's over. It's over. Let's
It
be real. It's
probably
over.
is, man. It probably
It's over.
is.
It's
It,
over.
in
It's
all
over.
actuality, it is. And that's how I felt coming in. Let's kind of wrap that up because it's if that's the case, it's the off season for everybody now.
Yeah, except two teams.
And it's about to get real good. Before we get into the off season wish list, we got to make a pit stop at the draft. And we're just gonna touch in at the top because how you feeling? You know, what's your vibe with Victor Wembanyama? Do you think what's too much on Wemby? You know, you think that's what's going on right now, or the sky's the limit?
With Wemby, look, man, I think Wemby is going to be a good player. I think Wemby will be an excellent player. I think Wemby will make an impact for sure. Wemby, however, in my opinion, he won't be generational like they're touting him up to be. Wemby is going to be a great player in a few years. So Wemby, if I'm being honest with you, I can see him taking a year or two just to develop his body and get it acclimated to the NBA game. Um, it kind of reminds me of somebody like Chet Holmgren. I know Wemby got a little more in his back pocket weight wise than Chet Holmgren, but all it took was Chet Holmgren to run into LeBron James one time at a
I know,
pro
man,
am
and
basketball tournament where a game where LeBron's not even going 1,000%. It ain't a playoff game. It ain't game one. LeBron probably at sixty
it was the
percent,
first possession. We
and
cold
he's
still.
out for the season. Come on, dog. So you telling me just those players with those type of
You
body,
speaking truth, bro. You speaking truth.
dude, those players with those type of body types, they are great prospects, but it takes them at least 2 to 3 years just to be ready to play. I mean, the guy is fresh out of France. I mean, he has to get acclimated to the NBA game. I don't know if he played 82 games this season. I highly doubt. So those are the type of things that we can kind of expect. And it kind of and from my thing, I always think big picture, like we were talking about. It kind of puts the Spurs in a precarious position because you want to build around this guy. You want to keep some young talent like Keldon Johnson that you kind of have already, but he's going to be at least 2, 3 years away, as opposed to an OKC who had Gilgis Alexander, so they were able to roll the ball out, and they ended up making a playoff run, and that kind of sped up their process. So now
Yeah,
Chet
because
is
Shea
not coming
played
back.
because he
Yeah,
played.
he played, but my thing is that OKC is not relying on Chet to save the franchise.
Yeah,
Um, the
yeah,
Spurs are relying on Wemby to save the franchise. So I mean, they will take their time with him. And I
Yeah,
think
it's
that
kind of
therefore
yeah, they are. Yeah,
they rely on him, bro.
they are though. They're putting themselves in a situation that has to be done correctly. It has to be
has to be.
managed. It has to be
So
managed correctly.
think Zion with the Pelicans. Think Embiid when he went to the 76ers. Or even being saying we're gonna take the whole year off. You're gonna be on load management for the first 2, 3 years. Get your body right, get healthy. Then we could go play basketball. So yes, I think Wemby will be a nice player. He won't be generational. I don't even see him winning Rookie of the Year. My dark horse Rookie of the Year is gonna be Scoot Henderson because he gonna put the first of all they gonna take him three. He gonna be disrespected and he can really make more of an impact. He's the type of player I feel like who can make a quicker impact if he lands on the right team. I don't think the Blazers are the right team. Hopefully they move that pick, able to build around Dame. But if he's able
Yeah.
to, Stu's able to have the ball in his hands, play about 28 minutes a game, run up and down the court, he'll be the most athletic on the court, night in, night out. I can see him running away, not running away, but he can steal that Rookie of the Year award. That's my little draft tease right now. Scoot, Rookie of the Year, put some money on it.
Nah, man, what you did right now was really valuable because you just provided like some cost benefit analysis still that you have to take into consideration with making this pick because yeah, it is a hands down, decision that you kind of have to do, but you got to still consider, how it might play out.
If you don't, look, you have to take Wimby number one. Look, it'd be a dumb reason for you to get yourself fired from a job because he didn't take the consensus number one overall pick. Now, if it doesn't work, then hey, it doesn't work. But you're gonna take Wimby at one without a doubt. Brandon Miller should go two. I can see him playing alongside LaMelo and the Hornets. That'll be a good 1-2 punch. And then Scoot at number three. Obviously, that just makes sense. And honestly, for me, that's when the draft ends. So I think those three guys going 1, 2, 3, that kind of set the table, at least for this season for the incoming players. And now, when we talk about next season, where Bronny lands and all of the other guys that have the potential to come out, then I can see the NBA shaking up as a whole. But obviously, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. So, yeah, man, I definitely see Wimby being a good player. Brandon's going to be solid, but Scoot is going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, no, man, I agree with you. You honestly nailed a lot right there. Because I think that Scoot is ready to come in here and get 21, 22 maybe next year, bro. I think that Brandon Miller is ready to come in here and honestly get some numbers as well. But it depends. I think that one's a little more situation dependent. And if he does go to Charlotte, Charlotte has a lot going on, so he might end up playing more of a role. But yeah, no, I think this draft is kind of drunk, dude. I think this draft has a lot of talent, and it should be fun to see. I think the Lakers got a nice little pick too.
Lakers have Lakers, I think like a late lottery, not a late lottery pick, but just outside the lottery
17, I
pick.
believe.
Oh, you could get a player. You could get a player at
Bro,
17.
at worst it's 19. Let's get this nailed down. But yeah, no, dude, let's
A top 20 pick, you can get a solid player. If I'm not mistaken, the year the Lakers got Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma, they were picks 20 and 21. So that just goes to show you that you can get solid players in the 20s. And these players, they're not stars, they're role players. So they're coming in, I'm a 3-point specialist, or I'm a utility guy, I'm a defensive stopper. Those are players the Lakers need. Lakers don't have time to wait 3, 4 years for a Scoot, for a Wemby, for a Brandon to develop into their potential. They take like a Jordan, was it Jordan Hawkins?
yeah.
They can take him right away, send him around the screen, see him come off the bench, play 15 minutes right now. So, I mean, those type, like I said, those type of
Yeah,
players
the
the
Lakers are
Lakers
at
need.
17. So
See,
I think this lottery, the back end of the lottery is really borderline between, who guys are worthy of those spots. And we're gonna have some draft content coming with Chuck soon too. So we'll kind of flesh this out because there's guys that can go top 10 that are gonna fall to about 15 because guys are gonna believe in teams are gonna believe in guys who are further down on the board because everybody in this draft, bro, is 6'6" and athletic, 6'6" or taller and athletic and have some guard skills. And like and I don't, it's going to be really fun to see who's the most impactful because we're seeing this new hybrid generational positions and how this translates. So But yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance for something.
Yeah, indeed, man. And just to piggyback off your point, we're seeing a lot of 6'6" hybrid. That's the NBA, bro. 6'6" hybrids, little guard skills. You know what I mean? Uber athletic. Now, the guys that are coming into the league now have to improve their shot making. I mean, that's just what it is. That separates a high level high school to college player and a real NBA pro. Can you take and make tough shots? Especially when you move into the playoffs. Now you got to expand your mid range game and all of those stuff. So, I mean, yeah. When I'm thinking about player. I know we can't spend a lot of time on the draft, man. But when I think about somebody like Scoop, I think about some. It might sound crazy. But I think about Jalen Green, somebody for the Rockets who just uber athletic, gonna go get up and down the floor, gonna give you 18 to 20,
Yeah,
and who really
Jalen's very. I'm high on Jalen still. I am. He's an
yeah,
all-star. He's an all-star in the future, which isn't
it will
saying
be
anything ridiculous, but I believe it.
Jalen with a number 2, number 3 overall pick. You better be an all star.
Yeah, I think both of these Thompson guys are going to be kind of crazy, bro.
Amen.
I think a man going to Houston too, bro. I think that makes them kind of crazy, bro.
It does. And see, honestly, man,
Do
I'm
you think
putting my
Harden might
DM.
go there?
No, no. If I'm Houston, I wouldn't even want him there. I like Harden. I love Harden. I got nothing but respect for him. Just from what I've seen, I haven't met him personally, but that's not the type of player I want my young guys to be modeling their game after, modeling their nightlife after, modeling a commitment to the game after. Not saying he's not committed, but I just feel like he's not the bet right now for these young dudes. Harden's always been a guy who's really talented, really good, could get an A in the class, but he want to do all the extracurriculars, so he gonna get a C plus and just coast. I mean, and that's not the type of dude you want around Jalen and Jabari. And honestly, bro, what I think is gonna happen, they're gonna take a man and they're gonna package 2, 3 of those young dudes with Kevin Porter Jr. and try to land a bigger star. Because
They
James
could.
Harden does nothing.
They could.
That you have to.
You do
What do you?
that,
Why do you
yeah.
have? Why are you stockpiling 4 to
No,
5?
you'll have way too. You'll have about too many. You can't. You
This
don't need 9 guys that aren't 23 yet that are have great potential.
who's the vet in the locker room? Who are these young dudes modeling a off the court regimen like after? You know what I mean? Come on, bro. And it has to be somebody that can play. Not just a Gordon, not to diss Gordon Hayward, but not a Gordon Hayward type of player or not a dude at the end of the bench who they don't really give a F about. It got to be somebody they could respect. Like, all right, this is the guy done at a high level before. I could respect him. I
Yeah.
mean, Harden could be that guy, but like I said, just based off Harden's previous past, him going to the club, Harden went to Vegas middle of the playoffs, bro. How do you explain? How do you tell your team to stay locked in January when you got your best player, second best player on your team, ask him
No,
to go to Vegas for a couple days to get his mind right in the middle of the playoffs?
that brother's
Bro,
crazy.
come on, man. That's not a good look.
I'm laughing, bro. So is there anybody that is on your Lakers wish list? Like, what do you feel? Because this offseason can go a lot of directions. I know that you are taking into account objectively the type of player that LeBron is going forward. And they're they got some decisions to make.
Indeed.
What's top of order for you?
For the Lakers. So the
Yeah,
top of order for the Lakers this offseason is to get a score, a bona fide bucket. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, but LeBron James has never been a closer. He's never been somebody. We're down. The game's getting closer, cutting into our lead. Give me the ball, get the F out the way. He's not that type of guy. And honestly, not everybody is that type of guy. Anthony Davis, not that type of guy.
he's
So
definitely not that guy.
no, they're not. They're just not. Like I don't wanna make them somebody that they not. So they're not those type of guys. Okay, that's fine. So what they need to do is go out and get a bona fide scorer. Go out and get a bona fide closer. As much as it pains me to say this, a guy like Kyrie Irving, a guy like Fred VanVleet, who really don't give you too much outside of I'm about to score and play make a little bit. Go and get tough. Y'all scared to shoot? Pass me the ball. And that's really what they need. When I'm watching that Nuggets Lakers series, there's games 1 and games 2 were up in the air. They were for the Lakers to win.
Dude, and
Lakers
that's
had
why I think Miami is going to give one another one earlier because the Lakers they had the chance to make one of those. They had a chance to steal several games in that series, and they just couldn't.
They did it specifically
Ultimately,
game 2.
yeah, and and then at 5 minutes or so in every in games 3 and 4, even it was like, all right, you can still make a nope. Man, I ain't got it.
They got it. They got the legs. The Lakers ran out of legs.
Now, do you
They
think?
could go
Do you
ahead.
think Austin Reeves is needed for in order to? Would you do sacrifice Reeves to do that, or do you prioritize AR?
It's a tough decision. I think everyone has a price. I don't believe in overpaying for players. I like AR. He brings a lot to the table, but there's no way in God's green earth that I'm giving this man $100+ million. I'm just keeping it real with you.
That's valid.
Um,
That's valid. You
I
can't
can't justify
when you
doing that.
had a Caruso, when you can very well go find another one.
Our track record is proven. I'm sorry, the Lakers' track record is proven that they can get some guys off the bench, get some guys off the street. I put that air quotes. These guys
Yeah,
aren't street guys. They can play, but they
great
can
term,
get
bro. That was a great one.
they can get
Hey,
guys.
bro. Side note: have you seen Nick Young? Nick Young on Instagram after these
Nah,
after these Laker games, where he's talking
nah,
about
man.
dudes being from the corner, like these corner dudes.
Nah, I ain't seen it
I
yet. What
thought
are
you
you
might have
talking
seen
about?
it. It's hilarious. I'll send it to you.
Man, yeah, we will talk about it. But nah, I haven't seen it, man. But long story short, I think the Lakers, they if a number is right, I would love for them to bring back Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. D'Angelo Russell, unfortunately, can go. I would love to package D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and get us a score. Use some of our mid-level exception money, get us a stretch center. I know Mo Bamba's supposed to be that, but I'm not even opposed to moving Mo Bamba. He has $10 million cap hit this year. That's a solid player in return. Malik Beasley comes in at $16 million this year, if I'm not mistaken. You package him with D'Lo, that's a max player. Now, do I think the Mavericks will play hardball and not work with the Lakers? Absolutely. They're not going to. No team is going to help the Lakers. We are the bad boys of the NBA. No team is going to help the Lakers. But squeeze their arm and make things make sense and make it to where a team, I don't know, can win out of the situation. I think a deal could be made. But I do feel like bringing back Rui and bringing back Reeves at a good number. We're not paying $100 million for Austin Reeves. Sorry, kid. If you can make that money, go make it. It just won't be in the purple and gold uniform.
Right, and we'll always remember what it was. And when you need to come back in about 4 or 5 years,
With
hey,
open arms. We love
we
you,
can
buddy.
always do business.
We can always do business. But yeah, and then I could also see a sleeper, like I'll
Hey,
just throw his name
what?
out there.
All right, go ahead.
Karis LeVert. Lakers need somebody like Karis LeVert who could come in at decent money and who just get a bucket. So
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, D. What did you want to
I think. What's up, Bash? Bash is up, everybody. If you didn't already hear.
say?
um, I think that they could do a lot this year. So I'll just throw out a list of things that like people are saying that they could do or could hypothetically happen. The Kyrie noise. I'm personally cool. I'm cool, you know what I mean? But if they did, we've seen what that can do. And I think it can still do it with AD and with the pieces that they piece together. Now,
Right.
contractually, we're going to see a shift, a pretty serious shift this offseason in what teams are, like you said, willing to do for guys like Austin Reeves, depending on what position you're in, because this new CBA is going to really hold these fools accountable and hold them to the fire for spending absurdly. So, like real ramifications, losing draft picks, can't acquire better minimums, can't require, buyout guys, can't do certain, just certain a hard cap essentially on top of it. And you're just, you could put yourself in a real hole. So if the Kyrie thing were to happen, it's going to have to be on a year-to-year kind of situation too. LeBron's kind of in that boat now too. So the Lakers, they can look forward, and if Kyrie does come and it sticks, you could hold on to him for another 3 or 4 years after that too. So I don't think it's the worst thing.
Allow me to interject, D, just to
Yeah,
give everybody some contractual things. So LeBron James is signed next season, right?
it's
After
the
that
numbers are
season,
numbers are nasty.
numbers are nasty, but he has a player option,
Yeah,
right? Anthony Davis contract runs out after he has a player option after next season as well. So the Lakers will only be interested in signing Kyrie at a maximum for 2 years. Because no point in keeping Kyrie on our roster if those guys leave and we need to reset. So we're only in the Lakers are only in the Kyrie business for 2 years max. Like you said, a 1-and-1 or 2 years, a little less than a max, but that's it. So just you got to make sure the contract's mindset. That's why I'm unwilling to pay Reeves 4 years, $100 million when my two best players are off the books in 2 years, and I'm gonna have to get a whole new team. Beth.
No, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's so that's one. I'm kind of cool on Kyrie. If it were to happen, then make it work. I guess. I mean, I'm down to
Right.
watch it.
Can't miss TV.
I kind of want to dead the Chris Paul noise. I'm cool on that.
Really?
I
Why?
so similar with Kyrie. If I don't think that it couldn't work if the move was made, I just think that again, I guess depending on the price,
The
how
price
much are
always
we getting
matters.
from Chris Paul? And that's at the end of the day. I think that Chris Paul is better served going somewhere else.
Like where?
I love him to Boston. I love him to Boston. And honestly, go there and become a player coach. Like,
Yeah.
play when you feel like it, play 50 games, play 60 games. But I believe that his presence on the court, in the locker room, in the huddle, in street clothes, at the press conferences will professionalize that team in a way and on the court that he can help them figure out what needs to play out. And he doesn't need to be playing almost the way I see it like that's like you have a future with these guys if you were to go there and help them figure it out. Or at least that pivots you to coaching, which point guards are meant for. But I think I want that to happen. So I don't know. I'm kind of being closed-minded, wanting because I like that idea, and I think that keeps everything intact for Boston. They can keep the coach, they can keep the guys. Jaylen Brown can now be his, ISO man, and I'm gonna talk more about this when we let Shibba bang his Celtics. But I don't know. Chris Paul in purple and gold is cool. It kind of fits the brand,
It fits the brand, brother. The thing about Chris Paul going
and I'm
to the
here for it. I
Celtics,
want Chris to get a ring. That's a factor that I like in teams when you're going for it. It's like, all right, I don't want this to matter to somebody. I want this to matter to whoever's going for it. Like, and it would to him. What you think?
if I'm keeping it real, I like the idea of Chris going to the Celtics just because, like you said, it fixed a lot of problems for both people, for both sides. The Celtics side, like you already explained, they're able to keep the team intact, keep the coach, provide leadership too. And the thing about the Celtics is they're a mentally fragile team. If your best player don't know when to take over, don't know when to do his thing, the team is mentally fragile. If Marcus Smart, the thing I know is, look, they have Marcus Smart as a leading assist man on their team in the regular season, but the
Something's
postseason
needed.
he's not. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
They need a playmaker there to be able to get everybody the ball and a leader. And CP could be a part-time player. But you got to think about the real world. Chris Paul's son is going to Campbell Hall in LA with LeBron's son. Why would he play in Boston across the country and miss his son going to high school? And when he has the opportunity to play in LA. And
This
if
is
he's playing
the
with his homies,
this is the street chatter that I'm not getting.
yeah, this
This is the
the
streets
street.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, this the streets talking right now. I got my
Streets
ear to
streets
the
know.
streets.
Streets
The streets
know.
know. The streets know. But yeah, that's why I feel like I could really see CP back on the Lakers or the
Hey,
Clippers.
I'll warm up to it. I'll certainly warm up to it.
But it could be any West Coast team. I mean, look, if you
Makes
keep it,
sense though. Makes a
yeah,
lot of sense. So that leads me to my next one, which I want to get in. And if Draymond's there to be had in free agency for a decent price as well,
no,
go ahead and get Draymond, man.
no. The
No,
Warriors, nah, not a chance. Nah, the Warriors gonna run the same team back next year because we already talked about how the CBA is basically messing everything up for teams that want to keep their teams intact. Next season will be the last run for the Warriors. Everyone's off the books at that point. Clay, Dre, they all off the books. So yeah, next season will be the last thing for the Warriors. Draymond is not turning down $26 million. He will never get that money again. If Draymond has half a brain, no disrespect, Dre, you take the money and you run. So yeah, I don't see
nah,
Draymond
you speaking
leaving.
more truth, bro. And you know what? I think that there's a thing I've been propping up called the Warriors Town Hall. about when it's going to be all said and done sooner or later. But I think you just said what needs to be said. One more year, not yet,
One more year. Just
not yet,
one more year. Throw
not yet,
everything at the wall. Tell
not
everybody,
yet.
look, like you said, it's our last
Pump the
dance.
brakes,
Make
pump the
it special.
brakes. Yeah, pump the brakes. Let's at least do it proper. Let's announce it at least. Like,
Right.
yo, we
Right.
going out.
Exactly.
Nah, man. Let's get back to our day, bro. I really appreciate us jumping on right now, man.
Man, my brother, thank you for having me, bro. Let's do this often. Let's do this again.
We certainly will. We might be live and direct next time. You never know.
All right. I'm with it. Bash.
Bashi, you want to say peace out? Peace out.